Behind me is the Mazda AZ1 that we started building on this channel a month ago. And we need to get this thing ready for Gravity Show, which is on the 23rd and 24th of August, which is 4 weeks away. From looking at it here, that doesn't seem like the biggest task. But let me tell you, everything we need to do on this car is custom. So we need everything to go right until that point if we're gonna achieve this. In this episode, there is gonna be a lot of problem solving. And fingers crossed, all that problem solving goes our way. Let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back to the AZ1 content. At the start of this project, I was a little bit unsure how this would go down. But from the views, comments and support that you guys are giving this car, it's clear that I think on this one, and I don't do this very often, I think I picked right.
For those of you not up to speed with this build, this is an AZ1 we're changing into a MINI F40 with the help from Liberty Walk. Now this is a €20,000 body kit that we're putting on an already rare car, and this will be the first one ever documented on video. So come along for the ride with us.
So like I said in the intro, 4 weeks till Gravity to get this car done, and honestly I'm getting a little bit worried. So what we're going to do now, we're going to make a list and figure out what we need to get and do to get this thing ready for the show. Okay, so AZ1 list. So first, wheels. Need to make the wheels turn so the car can steer. Suspension, to get the car sitting lower. Fuel place. Finding a place we can relocate the fuel cap so we can fill it with fuel. Engine cover. Need to figure out how to open that with the body kit on. Also need to put another N in engine. Lights. Need to figure out the lights front and back. And that is our list. Okay, so that's not everything that we need to figure out, but that is a good place to start. And I'm going to start off with the wing mirrors.
Which I forgot to put on the list.
Not because they're the most important thing to do, but I think there's going to be a lot of back and forth and time that's going to have to go into those. Because I've got a little bit of an idea of them and I'm not entirely sure if it's going to work out. Need new wing mirrors. Reason being, these ones look pretty shit. I could go down the line of the Ferrari style and doing an F1 style mirror for this, but I thought with us being drift games and JDM is our style that we go for, why not put a bit of a JDM style on here? Which got me thinking of an idea. What if we could get a Ganador or fake Ganador, Fanador as a lot of people say, onto this car? Because this mirror, I think, does come off and it has a little triangle bit, which is similar to this, which is the base plate off this mirror. So that's obviously not going to fit there. But we do have somebody in the office that can design and 3D print. So my idea is to make up one of these to fit there, and then we can have Ganadors, fake Ganadors. You know what I mean. Okay, so mirrors off, and we have our in-house 3D CAD designer and 3D printer.
Is that what we're calling me now?
Yeah, also, it's like doing merch and stuff is like your secondary job. This is your main job now.
This is my after 5:30 job.
Well, I reckon there's going to be some overtime this week then. So, we have the old mirror, and we somehow need to put that onto there.
Right. Okay, so all we theoretically I need to do, but it's that mirror, actually, isn't it? I got that completely wrong.
Yeah,
that's basically it.
Just basically that, but that doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's not.
No.
This is actually too small for the car, surprisingly. New mirror can't do this though.
No, it definitely can't do that. We're not looking for visibility here, we're looking for style.
So Craig cracked on taking some measurements. He took pictures of the parts that he needed to replicate for the base plate and linked up those measurements so we could get an accurate reading of what he needed to create.
Alright, so measurements all done.
Yeah, they're done, yeah.
So I'm going to leave that with you to try and CAD something up. Yeah, that's the list.
There's some list.
Did I spell anything else wrong?
Mirror.
I did forget mirrors.
Most important part.
So yeah, Craig's going to create something up.
Suspension.
Is suspension spelled wrong?
Suspension.
Suspension.
You can move that N into there.
No, but we need that N as well.
Well, you just put it by 2. That's difficult writing upside down, but
Okay.
still did better in your spell.
Hopefully all you viewers understood that. made a bit of a fool of myself there, I think.
So up until now, the build's been quite clean. But now we need to take it from the clubhouse to the shed. Because let me tell you, the work's about to get dirty. But not in a weird way.
Okay, so before I go off to the shed, something has just arrived I want to show you guys, and it's this, the all-new OBD11 free device and the sponsor of today's video. OBD11 is a reliable and user-friendly car diagnostic device and is licensed by VAG, BMW, Toyota and Ford Group. I honestly believe everybody should have one of these devices because it can not only save you money, but it can save you time by saving yourselves taking your car to a mechanic's. And it's super easy to use. All you gotta do is look at your OBD port, pop the device in, and then you can get started. Now, I've chosen to show you guys how good this device is on our workhorse, which is our Crafter van. So as you can see, there's no lights on the dash, but something tells me that the OBD11 free device can possibly find something before it becomes a problem. Okay, let's see what we have. 7 faults. Click in to see what they are. Oh, driver door, low beam headlight, engine. Right, let's go into engine. Few things with the turbo under boosting. Be why we think that it's down on power. Oil pressure switch and some heating stuff. So this is just one example of why this device is so good, because now we know that we definitely need to give this thing a good looking over. It also has loads of one-click apps where you can activate or deactivate hidden features in the car. For example, a lot of American cars have the orange side lights constantly on, and over here they're deactivated. But with the OBD11 free device, you can go into the one-click apps, find that hidden feature and put it on. But one of my favorite uses for this device is if you're buying a second-hand car, you can quickly pop it in, do a quick check, and it may show you something that the seller may be trying to hide from you. So thank you OBD11 for sponsoring this video, and they want to give back to you guys because if you use the word drift on checkout or go to the link in the description, you can get 25% off, which is incredible. And honestly, let me tell you, this little device could save you thousands, which ironically is what has to be spent on the AZ1. So let's get to the shed and see what we have to dig into there. All right, in the shed, time for a bit of messy work.
Okay, so next, we're gonna address the wheels.
Now, not that I want to get into this, but Dave did order the wheels, and there was a recommended size from Liberty Walk. And what Dave thought was if you get an inch bigger, then it's easier to get good stance because you don't have to lower the car as much. Yeah, on the other side of that is the wheel's an inch bigger on what's already a small arch. So yeah, good one, Dave. Now we're dealing with that. So obviously you guys in the comments commented away of what I should do, and realistically, there was only 2 answers. Get 16s or cut the kit. Even if we cut the kit, I'm not too sure we can make it work. So with the information that we knew of 16s worked on the Liberty Walk one, there was only one option to do, and that was to order new wheels in 16, which is a bit of a ball ache because these are custom strums, and because they're custom, the great thing about them, get them in any size, any ET, any design, which is great. As you can probably guess, the downside is they're not off the shelf. So I have rung Chris at Strum, told him the scenario, and he's ordered some up, but they're not going to come for another 2 weeks. But luckily, these, which are off Dave's twin cam, though these are 15s, it has got a bulkier tyre. So technically with a 16 and a less bulky tyre, they'll be in and around the same size as these. So I'm gonna put these on and see where we're at. Okay, so no denying there is a lot more space, but the big question is, will it turn? Also ignore these rotten wheels, just imagine they're the lovely F40 style strums. Oh my god, what do I need to do? it's not looking too good either. Okay, so obviously the wheels still aren't fitting, and I think that is because that is the biggest part of the wheel. If the car was lowered and the wheel was more up there and that part was more there, hopefully I'm making sense here, that possibly it may be able to turn. We still might have to cut some of this away, but that's absolutely fine. That's just, you're not even going to see that when the clamshell goes on. And about 4 weeks ago, I contacted BC, sent them all the measurements of this car, and what has arrived is a Frankenstein concoction of BC Racing coilovers that hopefully together will fit the AZ1. So not only are the BC coilovers going to help us fix this problem, this is going to be the world's first BC equipped AZ1, which is pretty cool to say. And just letting you guys know, you can get BC Racing coilovers from our projects department. I'll put the link down below and you can check out all the brands and products that we supply on there. And remember, we only sell brands that we truly believe in. So I do believe the front and rears are different, so I'm guessing this is a front and this is a rear by the looks of it. The bottom mounts only very slightly, but slightly different. So I'm running a 6 kg at the rear and 4 kg at the front, obviously. It's mid-engine, so there is a bit of weight on the back, and the front there's, well, nothing. So I set away taking off the suspension. Okay, here goes nothing. Have I done my measurements right? Not gonna act like I'm surprised, but I'm surprised. Okay, so they don't fit, but it's not the worst. I can drill out this hole a little bit and we can get it fitted.
Okay, so now I'm not proud of this work, but I just put a drill bit in, wiggled it around enough till the bolt fitted.
Okay, so there we have it. One BC equipped AZ1 with a small bit of persuasion. Okay, so I probably should have gone for what I usually do and just go for the lowest possible option and deal with the consequences, because I'm going to be honest, I think we've actually gone a bit higher. But luckily BCs are adjustable, so I'm just going to get the T-spanners out, lower them up, and fingers crossed, we should be sweet. Whew, it's hot in here. So as you saw, I took one of the collars out there to go even lower, but I think there is a lot less droop in these, because if you look here, without it being lowered that much, it's the same. But I have a suspicion that this spring is a lot lighter than that one. Therefore, it's not compressing as much. Therefore, I think we may need some shorter springs, which is fine. We can get shorter springs, there is no problem there. Just for now, it's not as low as we want it to go. And we're still having the issue of the non-turning wheel. Anyhow, we'll move on to the back and see how we get on there. Okay, so it would appear that the rear was measured a bit worse than I thought. Actually, it needs an entire new hole. That's where the original hole is, and that's where the new one is. So, in one way, it's actually a bit of a blessing that it's so far off, so we can just drill a new hole so it's in there securely. The other side is just annoying that I just measured it wrong in the first place, I guess. So I think I'm just going to center punch there, just so I can get my hole in the right area, and then drill.
Now I took this over to the pillar drill to do because this steel is really thick, and if I was to do it with a hand drill, I'd be a lot less accurate.
So I think I'm going to go lower from the start this time, and fingers crossed we will get it roughly right. Obviously this isn't a final ride height, I just want to get it roughly sitting where we need it. So annoyingly, that's lowered through the bottom and the half shaft is there. It won't go up. Which is incredibly annoying. Do a custom car, they said. It'd be fun, they said. A lot to be said for tried and tested. Need a shorter shock. We've achieved nothing. Craig could be achieving something right now. Craig was killing it. He had already designed up the base plate and started printing the first draft.
So to get these things fitted, I just had to raise the coilover up. That way I could see how they fitted on the car.
Not achieving too much tonight. I think it's actually higher. You know what? I didn't want to say it, but this build was going too well.
But with that said, we still had to get the other side fitted so we could see how the car actually sat.
Okay, so I'm going to give the suspension a half take because it's not exactly how I want them. Alright, I've had a nice sleep on it, and I think I've come up with some temporary solutions, but I'm not going to say I'm proud of them, and they're definitely getting changed.
So the plan was flipping the bottom mounts, putting the mounting points higher up, therefore lowering the car more. I also put a smaller spring that we had laying around just to get it that bit lower.
With one problem fixed, another problem begins. We have the front arm, which is scarily close. God, Neil, stick a finger in there just to... That's scarily close, but it does fit around, and there's no clearance issues there. Then there does become clearance issues if you want to turn the wheel.
Not if you're going straight anyway.
So it hits the front there, and then goes back. So pretty much we have to cut away this bit here and somewhat there. And fingers crossed, we will then have a turning car, which is always good.
So I started cutting away at the bodywork where it was hitting, but it would seem I wasn't even scratching the surface of this problem.
So we have more luck, but obviously it just hits the next point, which isn't ideal. So I think this is a bigger problem than we thought. I'm not even sure how. There's a lot that needs to come off there. So Neil, you're the fabricator here.
We're cutting it out, Josh. Just go straight on, not a bother.
I think we found the bother.
Yeah, the car.
I'm going to do what every car builder does and
Click your fingers.
ignore this problem just for a little bit, work on something that's going to get an easy up, and we'll think of a solution towards what we do with this list of mine. Everything's just getting a half done.
So with the car fighting us every little bit of the way, we turned our attention to the rear hatch, or in this case, the engine cover.
So this is supposed to open up, but we have a spoiler there. So my lovely assistant will, I mean, every time you open that, you're not going to want to take the spoiler off or anything like that. So we obviously need to do something about that. So it does come out. We do have these, and what we're thinking is we're going to make a mount off there to come out to mount this, and we can still actually use the latch because it's used to latch it anyways. So Neil has got some brackets that he made. So that goes there. We put that on there. We put this on.
Like that, exactly like that.
Maybe not throw it there, but on there, and we shall have said boot lid, and everything about this is going to go so smooth, it's going to be unreal.
Daily, it's going to be a 5-minute job, not a problem.
Real match. Perfect.
Yeah, now I can see what I'm doing.
So there was a bit of back and forth with grinding where the brackets were hitting, but overall, this job went pretty smooth.
There you go.
And then all was left to do was to put the push buttons in, line them up with the pins, and that's job done.
We do have the pins on there, and when I do this, Neil is going to... Yours is going back down again. Now that's gone back down again.
And it works.
You know what? I'm calling that a tick off the list at that. That is the most successful we've been on this video so far. Okay, our first full tick on the engine cover. Moving on to the lights. Now, I'm not going to be around the bush too much on this one. I'm just going to go straight into it. The lights are from a real Ferrari. The front, an F40, and the rear, a 360. And you can only imagine the price of Ferrari lights. Now, this is something that we didn't look into before because we thought they would just come with the kit. So the rear lights, there's about 300 quid a light and there's 4 of them. The best part of $1.5 to $2 grand a set. And then there's the front lights, which genuine Ferrari F40. I mean, when we searched it, we almost searched it just as a we shall see. And yes, they are incredibly expensive, very expensive because they're from the LM version. But then we did what Matt Armstrong does it most of all. You get the part number and you search the part number and see what other brands come up. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but they run the same lights as a VW Golf Mark 1. Now that does kind of make sense. It's a 5-inch light or 5.5-inch light, I can't remember what it is. But it does make sense because obviously you can't really go that much different. They're built around the 80s, 90s, so like there's not a fancy light really out there in that area. It's just literally light with a bulb. So yeah. So funny enough, the front lights were easily sourced. Right here, we have a Ferrari F40 lights. Obviously it's not Ferrari branded, but this is the same part number as a Ferrari F40 light. 4 of these, which only costs, I don't know, 100 quid, 150 quid for the 4 of them. So that was easy. The rears, on the other hand, they weren't so easy. I looked around, tried looking at third-party ones, and there's nothing really around for that. So I had to improvise a little bit. I had to start looking at similar lights that are circular. And what I found is, obviously, I'm not saying this is as good as a Ferrari light, but I think as a compromise, from 2 grand to 24 quid for 4, we're gonna try these first. We obviously have our F40 lights, also known as the VW Golf Mark 1 lights. And we have these, which are light brackets, so the light goes into there so we can adjust which way the headlight goes, because obviously you don't want them pointing up or whatever, you need to position them right on the road. So this is, well, it's a bit too big. So I'm not going to claim this idea. Neil had the great idea of taking this apart so you get rid of that stepness, riv nut in it, into there.
Yeah.
And then we saw the adjustability and the headlight is sunk in a little more. How much that goes into plan? I have all of it.
All of it. Very confident.
Very confident. You know what? If you believe, it may happen. Go on. Wait, just do it in really small increments. When there's a will, there's a way.
Who's will? Anyone's wondering why this takes so long, it's because stuff like this happens.
I hate to break it to you, but I can only see the same problem with the other one happening. So we have to make our own riv nut tool. Go on, how does she look?
Needs a little bit of cutting, Josh.
No way, it doesn't just fit. Hole and not big enough.
Maybe we'll use a used grinder.
Is that the precise measurement? A used grinding disc?
Don't lose this grind. Don't use this grinding disc. Label this one.
Ferrari F40 light insert.
Perfect. Only 3 more to do.
I think it just needs one.
As challenging as this car's been, there's a real sense of achievement from making and customizing things to work. So we ploughed on with finishing the rest of the lights, and at this point, it really was nice to step back and see a bit of progress.
So now to the rear lights.
They're easy, aren't they?
They are, yeah, not so easy. Here are our Ferrari lights. Trailer and Ferrari, they pretty much go hand in hand. But obviously couldn't afford the genuine ones because they're quite a lot of money, so we've gone with these. I think they're 24 quid for 4.
Bargain.
Bargain.
Bargain compared to
Bargain by my eyes.
So obviously tail light in there, and we're not too sure if we want to go tilted like the Japanese lads would in the
Kaido races, or we want to go straight. I think for now we're going to go straight, and we might get a bit brave further down the line and do them a bit slanted.
Now we need to figure out how to mount these because they are the original mounting brackets. They are not the same as them.
So we need to do some, I don't know, make some brackets, don't we? So we started cutting out some brackets so we could mount the lights. Now, as you can see, we didn't go with a super fancy design, but I didn't feel like we needed to, because they're only holding something so light. Okay, so it's not exactly the prettiest thing, but it does work nonetheless.
So we have going down, and then that's going in there, and then we're going to drill 2 holes where that's going to go into, so should be able to mount there.
On a bit of a time crunch, this is the best solution that we can think of. Now the tricky part was trying to line the lights up straight, and we did have to widen some holes to get them this way. Now I didn't really know how these lights would look, but like I said earlier, I took the chance, and I think they look great. And I will just add, in this picture they're not securely in, so that's why they look a little wonky.
You know what, high five for that. That was some
Improvisation and a lot of different techniques there.
Yeah, tinkering.
But let's be honest, trailer lights aren't supposed to go onto here, and we're not really going into too much detail of how we're actually doing this because realistically, nobody is going to be doing this again. All we know is they're on.
If they want to know, text us.
Things were on the up. Our second tick, and now we're moving on to the mirrors.
Yeah, I see myself doing this job.
Why?
It's a mirror.
Craig has got the 3D printed back, and we have lost it. I put it over here. Hang on a second. Oh, did you?
It's under my jumper.
So we do have the piece that we need to. Now this is still prototype. It's a little bit flimsy. It's a little bit light, but this is enough to realize if we can fit this to the car. You know what? I'm going to show you how easy this job's going to be. Okay, so let's start. I just set a timer going.
I'll get it.
It's not happening, Neil.
I get paid to play this.
7 minutes, 20 something.
Half of that was looking for tools.
That is by far the easiest job we've done in this video. Well, actually, our side, not Craig's side.
So yeah, so we have fake Ganadors,
Fanadors.
On the car now. Neil was for the F1 mirrors. I don't know, there could be a phase 2 of this car. So yeah, let us know in the comments if you think we should have gone F1 mirrors, but I really like the Ganadors if I'm going to be honest, and I think it gives that JDM theme to the Italian, Japanese supercar-esqueness.
exotic.
Yeah, super, yeah.
Super stupid car. So the mirrors fitted great, and all Craig needed to do was print off a solid version of that. At this point we're on a bit of an up, and things were going good. The next job we're going to dive into, that up wasn't going to stick around for long. And now, after somewhat of a high, I think we have to go back to the wheels, Neil.
Putting it off, Josh.
I was massively putting it off. And I think we can't put it off anymore. I did a bit of research last night and we're gonna have to do some bad things. We've been thinking about this in the background of what we've been doing and how we can do it and if we can move the wheel forwards or what we have to do. And realistically, the wheel sits perfectly in the middle. That's where the wheel's supposed to be. We don't have an issue at the front, so you could move it forwards, but it could look a bit silly. So there's only really one solution here, and it's not a nice one.
Get a cutting, Josh. We have to throw it up on the ramp and see exactly what it hits and then get the grinder.
If you saw what we did a few videos ago with the front of the car and thought that was bad, this is worse. This is going to be worse. Okay, so we can show you just how bad whatever it is that we've got to do. So obviously it's jacked up here, so now obviously the wheel is sagging a little bit, but it's not sagging that much. So this is a bad problem, and that's, as you can see, not much lock at all. And then the front is a massive problem. Well, I guess there's only one thing to do now. Is to dive blindly with no knowledge. At the moment we're pioneers right now. Nobody has documented this online.
No man have gone before. What did he say?
I have no idea what you're... I'm going to round up this episode now, and I'm sorry to leave you in such a cliffhanger, but you're going to have to wait till the next episode to see how we get on. I don't even know that yet, so you're along for the ride. And right now, all we can do is pray and fingers crossed that we can get this thing ready for gravity. Let us know what you guys think in the comments down below, and we'll see you guys on the next one.